Major General Hans von Eisenberg was negotiating in secret for safe passage for his team. 5 of the V2 program's top men. He was meeting his Russian handler at the Brandenburg Gate. This was my chance to take him out before he could seal the deal. I was prepared, focused, confident. Little did I know, it would turn out to be the most difficult mission I'd ever undertaken. Von Eisenberg was punctual and made no effort to hide his ugly face. Neither did his Russian contact. I had a clear shot. The slightest pressure on the trigger, and it was good night, Major General. Just a question of choosing my moment. Eisenberg was dead. I was committed now. Both the Russians and Germans would know I was in play. 4 to go. Intel told me my next target was Dr. Gunter Kreidel, an expert in rocket engines. He was traveling across town in an armored convoy. We believed he was carrying documents that would lead me to the V2 production facility, where the other 3 scientists were waiting. I'd identified a point on the route where I could lay a booby trap and stop the convoy. Naturally, the area was defended. I'd expect nothing less. Now I knew where the V2 production facility was. I figured I was in the home stretch. All I had to do was get in, neutralize the 3 remaining targets, blow the whole place sky high, and head for home. Simple. The scientists were nowhere to be found, but I kept looking, hoping to find some clue that would lead me to them.
Müller, jawohl, bitte komm. Müller. Müller, jawohl, bitte kommen. Dieser Bastard Schweiger hat uns alle verraten. Wir haben ihn bei dem Versuch erwischt, zu den Amerikanern zu wechseln. Er wird am Opernplatz gefangen gehalten. Er wird bei Tagesanbruch erschossen werden. Müller. Müller, jawohl.
Der Scharfschütze! Er ist es!
Er ist hier! Müller, jawohl, bitte.
Now, I was improvising. Nothing in our intel had indicated that Schweiger was a friendly. This made him a potential asset. I had to find him. Only one problem. Berlin wasn't a ghost town anymore. The Reds had broken through the German lines and a tank unit was heading straight for where Schweiger was being held. The Krauts were making a stand at Museum Island. I was happy to let them rot, but helping them slow the Reds was my best chance of buying some time. My plan was an audacious one: to blow up the bridge with a shot from the top of the museum, stop the tanks dead in their tracks. Then, while the Krauts and the Ivans fought it out, I could head into town and get Schweiger. Mosin Nagant 1891-31. Beautiful. The Russians sure know how to make a sniper rifle. With the Reds and the Krauts knocking 7 shades of shit out of each other back at Museum Island, I'd bought myself some time. I headed for Opernplatz, where Schweiger was being held. I'd been sent to kill him, but now I was trying to save his ass. Funny how some days turn out.
Auf die Knie.
Mach es schnell.
Mach ich doch immer.
You're hit. Let me take a look.
No time. The Reds are coming. You hold them off. I'll be fine.
But I need
Hold
information.
them off. If you don't, we're both dead.
The assault was over. We were safe. For now.
Thank you for the rescue. But I fear that it was a waste of time. Wolf, as a plan, V2 rockets. Tauben.
Tauben? Where's that?
Not a... not a place.
What is it then? What's Tauben? Answer me!
It's...
Intel had been wrong about Schweiger. I wondered what else we'd got wrong. Or, more importantly, what else we just didn't know. Like Tauben. What the hell was that? And what was Wolf's plan? Whatever Wolf was planning, I'd have to worry about it later. I had fresh intel on Mueller. He'd been transferred to take command of the Tiergarten Flak Tower. I don't like improvising, but HQ reckoned they'd found a location for the shot, and they'd send an airdrop with plans and supplies. Trouble was, the Flyboys had missed the drop zone. They managed to land it in the worst possible location, at the top of a church tower. The only question was, who would I find waiting for me? The Jerrys or the Reds? No doubt they'd be expecting me. They'd left me a Gewehr 43, ZF-4 telescopic sight, 4 times magnification. Nice. No time for a test drive, though. Fritz had spotted me, as I'd known they would. Now I knew how to get Muller. One true shot from the flak tower to his command tower. But the Russians had closed in, cutting me off from my designated vantage point. I'd have to cross the front line, past the attacking Reds, and infiltrate one of the most heavily defended fortresses in Berlin. This is what I trained for. Just me, my rifle, and a target. The only target left was Wolf, but I hadn't a clue where he was hiding. I knew the Ivans had a special operations command post in East Berlin. Perhaps he was in contact with them. I packed up and headed out, followed the sounds of fighting and tank fire. It was just about the most dangerous place I could possibly go, but I needed answers, and this was the only way to get them. It wasn't much to go on, but it was enough. Tauben was a nerve agent, powerful and lethal. Breathe it, touch it, even look at it, and your body shut down in all sorts of gruesome ways. Wolf was the architect of the plan, a chemical weapons specialist. He was helping the Russians fill the last of Germany's V-2 rockets with this stuff. Their target, London. Those cunning red bastards would make it look like Germany's final revenge. Killing Wolf would have to wait. Nothing else mattered now. I had to stop that launch. Somewhere outside Berlin, Wolf and his Russians were getting ready to wipe out London. But I still had no idea where the launch site was. I had the location of Wolf's office in the heart of the city, and if I couldn't find what I needed there, a government ministry building located nearby might provide some answers. The Battle of Berlin was at its height now. Close quarters fighting on every street, snipers on every rooftop, tanks on every bridge and square. The Germans were burning their documents to stop them falling into Russian hands. I had to move quickly. The room was a mess. The Krauts had gutted it. All the papers were taken or burnt. There had to be something here that could help. It's an old trick, but a good one. Bingo. This had to be Wolf's escape plan. But before I could keep my date with that maniac, I needed to stop the V-2 launch. There was nothing here to help me with that. My only chance now was the ministry building across a square. The map showed all the possible launch sites around Berlin. Only one was still operational and in Russian-occupied territory. That had to be the place. headed out immediately, praying I'd still have time. I had to get into position to take out that rocket. That would be hard enough. But to make matters worse, only a full fuel tank would generate a big enough explosion to burn off all traces of the Tauben payload. I only had a small window between fueling and launch. My last chance to take out Wolf was at the Tiergarten airstrip, 1845 hours. I didn't have much time. Stopping Wolf meant heading straight back into the heart of Berlin. With most of the city in ruins, the only location for the shot was right back where I started. I needed to get to the Brandenburg Gate. The city was on fire, the battle raging, like a vision of hell. And somewhere, in the middle of that firestorm, that bastard was gonna get in a plane and fly to safety, taking all the secrets of the rocket program to Moscow. Unless I could stop him. The Battle of Berlin ended at 8:23 the next morning, May 2nd, 1945, when Commander General Weidling submitted the surrender of German forces to General Chukov of the Red Army. Within a few days, the war ended, but already a new war was beginning, the Cold War, and I was its first soldier.